Finn Balor is no longer the United States champion. And I called it. What's going on with Finn Balor, guys? He looks like a complete joke out there. Now that he's no longer in the good graces of Vince McMahon, Bruce Pritchard, and the entirety of Monday Night Raw. Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens in the main event, and while it was a good match, it was just an utter disappointment in the end with that count-out finish. And one of the most embarrassing segments in all of WWE history, and trust me, there have been a ton. The 24/7 title garbage strikes again with the double wedding. And guess what, guys? Sasha Banks was involved. Why is she there? Your guess is as good as mine. I'm sick and tired of being disrespected every single Monday night. And I just don't know if I can take it anymore, honestly. But we're here. We're going to be talking about everything that happened tonight on Monday Night Raw. And this is the only place that you need to be on your Monday night. This is Outside the Brand. We'll talk to you guys in just a little bit. What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining me right here on Outside the Brand. This is your Monday Night Raw post show for April 18th, 2022. I am your host, Phil, and this is Outside the Brand. Thank you so much for joining me on your Monday nights, wherever you may be. Monday Night Raw. It wasn't terrible, but it was not all that exciting either. The first hour was pretty good. Rollins and Cody had a great segment, a great back and forth promo to set up their up-and-coming match at WrestleMania Backlash. We had a lie detector test, which is what this entire show was all about. KO and Ezekiel. Kevin Owens has been obsessed with Ezekiel and trying to figure out if this is legitimately Elias or if it's Ezekiel. Is Ezekiel really who he says he is? Or is this really the former Elias? We all know in the back of our heads that this is, in fact, Elias, but WWE, you know their booking style. We all know everything that happens in WWE. They legitimately have no brain cell in their fucking mind, and they just come up with this shit. That being said, the lie detector segment was pretty entertaining because of Kevin Owens and you know Ezekiel. He had some really good comebacks. But Elias just not Elias. See, you know Kevin Owens. He just did not believe him in any sense of the imagination. So we had that going on, and Seth Rollins put us on a quote-unquote roller coaster ride as he took the chance to choose Cody Rhodes' opponent for the main event on Monday Night Raw, and it just turned out to be the exact same person that everyone thought it was going to be, and that was, in fact, Kevin Owens, his friend. So there's that. The count-out finish was just completely ridiculous, but that's Monday Night Raw for you at the end of the day. Cody needs wins heading into a potential World Championship match, but in fact, there is no World Championship on Monday Night Raw. WWE is operating with 2 World Championships on one person, that being Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns is apparently just still exclusive to Friday Night SmackDown. That's not right. That's ridiculous that there's no World Championship on Monday Night Raw. End the brand split. Forget Roman Reigns on Monday Night Raw. That's it. Oh, and by the way, the Tag Team Championships are also being unified. So what the fuck is going to happen with that? How is that going to work? Are the Usos still going to be SmackDown exclusive? You have to bring both those guys back and forth to Monday Night Raw, right? Or are they just waiting for the entire bloodline to hold all the championships so then they could go back and forth between both shows? That's fucking ridiculous. Have Roman be on Raw. There's no reason as to why he's not. Operating without a world championship on your flagship show with 3 hours of television is just not It's not the right way to go about it, guys. It's not the right way to go about it at all. And WWE really needs to figure out what the fuck they're going to do with the unified WWE and Universal Championships, as long with the unified tag titles. Raw's not in good shape, guys. Raw's not in good shape. But as always, we are going to go over everything that happened tonight on Monday Night Raw. We were live on Outside the Brand this past Saturday on the 16th, and we were doing Battle of the Belts 2 on Outside the Brand. We watched Battle of the Belts 2, and it was overall a pretty good show. We had a new TNT champion, and we had an amazing match for the Ring of Honor World Championship between Jonathan Gresham and Dalton Castle, and many other stuff happened on Battle of the Belts 2. So if you missed that, go check it out. It's on the channel. It's the last video on the channel. So go check out the Battle of the Belts 2 post-show review on Outside the Brand. This is a new week of television, guys, for professional wrestling. So let's start this week off right. You guys can start that by making sure you follow me on social media. All the TikTok links for everybody that is involved in the podcast are in the description below. You guys can follow me at @PhillyMatt_. That's Twitter and Instagram and any other platform for social media that is out there. I pretty much made everything at @PhillyMatt_, so it's easier for you guys to find me. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Make sure to go to the channel and check out anything that you may have missed, like that AEW Battle of the Belts 2 post-show review, as well as many other Outside the Brand podcasts for you guys to enjoy. Hit that thumbs up, guys. That helps the channel tremendously. It helps us get more recommended on other recommended pages and helps continue to grow the community. So that's also something that we need to figure out. Let's get 10 likes minimum on the Monday Night Raw post-show review tonight on Outside the Brand. Every like helps the channel, and you guys have no idea how much it means to me when you hit that thumbs up button. So thank you guys so much for doing that. Make sure to go support Outside the Brand on bonfire.com, the exclusive home of Outside the Brand and its merchandise. You guys can go get your t-shirts, your hoodies, and many other exclusive items on bonfire.com, the exclusive home of Outside the Brand and its merchandise. And like I said, finally, before we get into Monday Night Raw, I already mentioned TikTok, but we do some great stuff over there. Everybody that is a part of OTB has a TikTok account, and they absolutely kill it as well as I do. No, it's a humble brag, but I think we all do pretty well on over there on TikTok. So go over there, check us out on TikTok. Same thing as my other social medias at @PhillyMatt_, and anybody else that is a part of this podcast, their TikTok links are down in the description below. Thank you guys so much for all your support, and let's get right into the Monday Night Raw post-show review. I'm going to try to make this quick, guys, because I'm honestly very tired, and I just can't really stand the absolute illogical bullshit that we get every single Monday night. But I'm here for you guys, and we are going to do a full show review of Monday Night Raw, the best that we possibly can, even with me being tired. Let's get right into the show, shall we? So, start off the show tonight with Seth Rollins making his entrance. Rollins welcomes us, saying that it's a party, and nobody wants a party alone. So he introduces his WrestleMania Backlash opponent, Cody Rhodes. The fans cheering Cody, and Seth says that he loves it. He asks how it feels to be on the top of the world. Rhodes says that it feels very familiar, as in him and Seth in the same ring in the same city. Buffalo, New York is Rhodes' country. Rollins says that this is about respect. He came here to tell him how much he respects him. Another Cody chant fires up, and Cody interrupts Seth, to turn to the fans and get a big pop. Rollins then tells him never to do that again, so Cody does it right away again. And then Rollins says that he came out here to tell Cody how much he respects his family and his legacy, and that it's impressive what Cody did for 6 years to get to where he is now. But the truth is that he made Cody as a star in one night. Cody tells Rollins to get to that point in his career. Rhodes tells Rollins to get to the point, and Seth says that the point is that Cody had an unfair advantage at WrestleMania. Seth didn't have time to prepare for his loss. That's a tough pill to swallow, especially when Cody and a lot of fans will think that it means that he is better than him. He can't live with that because the truth is that he is better than Rhodes in every single way. He may be the flavor of the month for right now, but he isn't the flavor of the industry. He isn't the future of the industry. Cody can't walk the walk or talk the talk as well as him. Rollins says that he has been on the top of the mountain, been WWE champion, and that makes him better. What's going on, Mo? Cody says Rollins, in fact, has been on the mountaintop many times. Mountaintop 4 times. What's going on, Phenom? But that doesn't change what happened at WrestleMania. Rhodes says that in his absence, he learned some management skills, and is known, and he knows that they could go back and forth. But how about that he could go back and forth, but how about they ask a third party? Like the good old folks in Buffalo. Cody asks if they think that he's better than Rollins, and the fans pop and chant yes. Rollins then tells them to shut up and says if Cody thinks that it's so easy to be the face, so easy to face a mystery opponent, how about he does that in the main event tonight while I pick his opponent? Rhodes says that everyone already knows that he's game. He didn't come back to WWE to run from challenges. And that was that. Good segment, like I said in the opener. This was a good segment to pretty much set up their WrestleMania Backlash rematch. I don't like that WrestleMania is being linked to another pay-per-view like Backlash. You know, I've always thought WrestleMania should just be a standalone brand, its standalone, pay-per-view event. And now that they linked WrestleMania into Backlash by calling it WrestleMania Backlash, it's just WrestleMania matches over again on another pay-per-view. And that to me is just not right. I understand the rematch. I understand what Cody and Seth are doing, and they're honestly really great storytellers in the ring. And I think they're going to have a great match at WrestleMania Backlash. But I just hate the fact that WrestleMania is linked to another pay-per-view like Backlash to make it WrestleMania Backlash. It just does not make any sense. But this was a great segment. Cody and Seth really work well together here, and they told a very good story on the microphone tonight, trying to figure out, all right, well, this is all about respect. So I didn't know I was facing you at WrestleMania. You had the advantage. So why don't I just pick your opponent tonight in the main event and see where this goes? Because you think it's so easy. Do it. Do it then. Do it. Face a mystery opponent and see what happens. It turned out to be Kevin Owens, which we all pretty much knew, but it happened. So we'll get to that when we get to that. But this was a very good segment. I think Cody and Seth are going to have a great match at WrestleMania Backlash, just like they did at WrestleMania. And we'll just see where things go from here. The WWE Women's Tag Team Championships were on the line next as the Boston Glow Connection, or just Boston Glow, Sasha Banks and Naomi took on the team of Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. This is just your standard of the mill WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. Nothing more, nothing less. Ripley blind tagged in and hits a riptide and pins, but Banks catches Morgan with a backstabber and breaks up the pin attempt. Morgan is knocked out of the ring, and Naomi grabs Ripley from behind. Banks hits a code breaker, and Naomi hits an atomic drop. Then Sasha hits a senton into a pinfall, and the champions retain. Boston Glow retained the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. After the match, Ripley and Liv Morgan are getting at each other as they argue. Ripley tells her that she's done and turns to leave, but comes back and yells that she failed. Ripley says Liv is never there when she needs her the most, and Morgan tells her to relax. Ripley then attacks Liv and beats her down. Ripley lifts Morgan, hits a riptide as she walks off. Thank God. Thank freaking God. Ripley is now heel. We all knew this was going to happen. This is totally predictable. But thank God she is heel. She can probably go to the other side with the Edge and Damian Priest, and we can start that shit going, because Ripley needed this big time. And now that she is finally heel, we can get the real Ripley of old back. And man, she needs it. She needs a complete overhaul, and with her being a part of the other side potentially, this could be a really good thing for Rhea Ripley. Being on the side with Damian Priest and Edge could really help her out on the Monday Night Raw roster, because ever since she lost to Charlotte, she has never been the same. She's just been a tag team person for the rest of that time, and that's just honestly pathetic. It's honestly pathetic. And now Ripley can have a fresh start with the other side, and she can honestly resurrect her career. So this is great. I love it. Let's see what happens here. Good stuff for Rhea Ripley. Hopefully to come on Monday Night Raw. We see a replay last week where Sonya tricked Bianca into signing an open contract to face her at WrestleMania Backlash, then attack the champion. The villain makes her way out to the ring as they head to commercial break. Ripley is stopped backstage for an interview. Ripley says, quote, "What entitles you or anyone else to an explanation," end quote. Sonya Deville is in the ring, and she says that she has heard chatter within WWE that she is misusing her power by challenging Bianca Belair to a match at WrestleMania Backlash. Don't forget, she is a competitor first and foremost. She was forced into a position by WWE officials until she was able to be back in the ring as a superstar. And when she saw the opportunity, she took it. When Belair won at WrestleMania, she knew that's who she wanted to go after first. Deville says that Deville says people can scrutinize. I'm sorry, Jesus Christ. Deville says that people can scrutinize her all that they like, but the bottom line is that Belair needed a challenger, and she gave her one. It's nothing personal, just business, and if anybody has an issue with it, Bianca Belair, and if anybody has an issue with it, then Bianca Belair's music hits. She stomps her way down to the ring, meaning business, still spinning her hair like a child would do, but that's what happens. It's Bianca Belair. Deville warns Belair that she could have repercussions if she gets physical. Bianca then says that she'll be more than happy to have this match tonight. Deville says that she didn't wait 3 years to have a moment in a rusted suburb like New York. How about they do it next week in Belair's hometown of Knoxville, Tennessee? That way, Bianca can have her friends and family out there to console her. Deville gets in her face and asks her what the matter is. Is she going to cry? Belair hoists Deville up onto her shoulders and wants to hit the KOD, but Deville screams that she'll strip her of the women's championship, so Belair lets her go. This was probably one of the most Bianca Belair things that Belair has ever really done. And by that, I mean the old Bianca Belair. Not the whole hair twirling, happy-go-lucky, kissing babies type Bianca Belair. This is NXT Bianca Belair. And Bianca Belair means business. Bianca Belair knows who she is and knows what the fuck she's going up against in Sonya Deville. This is a great thing for Bianca Belair, but I hate this whole twirling of the freaking hair thing. I understand it's the braid, it's her signature, it's everything about Bianca Belair with that braid, and I know that. But be fucking serious. Be fucking serious. You're the Raw Women's Champion. You can't be doing this whole hair twirling thing for too long. People are asking left and right, does Bianca Belair not need the champion? Not the championship, does not need the braid. And honestly, if you want me to be completely honest with you guys, I don't think she really needs the braid anymore. I really don't. If you want her to be more serious, if you want her to be in not more prominent stories, but if you want her to act in more of a serious tone, get that braid off of her and figure out how it could be the best way for her career and for her character to see what she can be about without the braid. The braid is just an extension of who she is, and I get that. But Bianca doesn't need the braid in order to be a role model to every young girl and boy that's in the WWE universe. She doesn't need it. Bianca Belair has all the talent in the world on the mic skills and in the ring to figure it out herself instead of just needing the braid as it's not a crutch, but you guys hopefully get what I mean. She doesn't need the braid to accentuate who she is, if that makes any sense. Now, am I going to get what I want? Probably not. Bianca Belair is going to have that braid for probably her entire career. But if Bianca Belair needs to get more serious, which I hope everybody here at least would want, then hopefully we see what's going to go down with Bianca Belair. And maybe this could be a sorry about that, guys. Hold on one second. There we go. And maybe this could, be a starting point of that, with her being a little bit more serious tonight, even with the hair twirling. But we'll see what happens. This could be a good match at WrestleMania Backlash. Is it meaningless? Kind of, yeah. And is it kind of predictable? Also, yeah. But, it's WrestleMania Backlash. It's a D-level pay-per-view. I mean, what do you want from WWE? So we'll see what happens. But at the end of the day, Bianca Belair and Sonya had an okay segment. to set up their match, and we'll see where things go from here. We had Veer take on Jeff Brooks. Veer just completely dominated. Absolute domination from Veer Mahan. The match begins with Veer. Veer's back. Poor Jeff Brooks into the corner and shoulders him and then throws him across the ring. Brooks then fires some right hands to the gut, then hits the ropes and just jumps onto Mahan, but Mahan tackles him in mid-air. Mahan then slams Brooks and then clotheslines him with the $1 million arm. Mahan then jumps on the back, then applies his modified camel clutch as Jeff taps out. Easy domination right there. The whole $1 million arm into that modified camel clutch. Absolutely brutal combination. And, they're legitimately focusing on Veer Mahan as a dominant monster. And that's great. I honestly think that's great for Veer. I don't know how long it's going to last, but hopefully it lasts a pretty long time. And Veer looks pretty good here, so I'm okay with it. Adam Pearce is backstage with Sonya Deville. When Sonya Deville stops him, and she's irate. She asks Pearce if he finds Bianca Belair, and he says that he did, then reveals that he fined her $1. Deville is furious, but he says that he's going by the books and walks off. Good for you, Adam Pearce. Even though you blocked me on Twitter, good for you. Screw that whole shit with Sonya Deville. She's now a competitor. Treat her like one. Come back from commercial break, and this is where Kevin Owens had his Lie Detector Test segment. Kevin Owens is in the ring for an episode of the KO show, and he says that Chad Gable is with him. Owens is irate. No, Owens reiterates that he can't stand liars, which is why he is furious with Ezekiel. The man is clearly Elias. And so he's got a proper lie detector test, and he has recruited the smartest man in the WWE universe who will expose Elias before beating him in a match. Gable then thanks Owens for having him back on the KO show and says that he will find out who Ezekiel really is. And if he lies, he will beat him tonight in their match. Owens says that he loves Gable, loves his brain and his hair, and then introduces Elias. Ezekiel then comes to the ring and takes a seat opposite of Gable. Owens then welcomes him to the him and Ezekiel says once more that he is Elias's younger brother. Owens then tells him to admit it. He used to come out with a beard and a guitar, and he asked people if they were ready to walk with him. Ezekiel says he can't wait to take this test, but before that, he has one question. Who wants to speak with Zeke? Who wants to speak with Zeke? Perfect. Oh my god. It's so stupid, it's hilarious. Like, seriously, it's that stupid, it's hilarious. Owens gets mad and says that that's just the same as walk with Elias, and tells Gable to hook him up to the lie detector. Gable tells the fans to shoosh, and then Ezekiel then asks Ezekiel a couple of questions to get a baseline. Gable then asks Ezekiel if Gable Stevenson is a spoiled brat and gets angry. Owens then tells him to calm down because he is paying him $150 in Canadian money for this. Gable then asks Ezekiel if his real name is Elias, and he says no, and the machine says that he is telling the truth. Owens cannot believe it at this point. Gable then asks Ezekiel if Elias is his older brother, and he says yes, and it says that he's telling the truth. Owens asks him again and accuses Gable of getting paid off. Gable says that he's a man of academic integrity, and the machine is telling that Ezekiel's telling the truth. Owens tells him to get out of the ring because he's useless. Ezekiel says that he tried to tell him, and he's tired of being called a liar by the biggest liar in WWE. Ezekiel says that this is a big moment for him because he's about to have his first ever match in WWE. Owens says that it doesn't matter, that he doesn't care if his first match is in Canada's landfill. The fans boo, and Owens mocks them. Owens says that he is going to admit that he is Elias or else. Ezekiel says, or else what? And Owens walks off. Gable then attacks Ezekiel from behind, and the match is up next. Ezekiel versus Chad Gable. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? I like Ezekiel and his in-ring style. It's Elias, guys. I mean, come on. We know what Elias brings to the ring. But this was a disqualification finish. This was a disqualification finish. Gable flips back into the ring, but he's a few clotheslines. Gable then catches the legs of Ezekiel and hits an exploder suplex. Gable then goes up to the top rope for a moonsault, but eats a boot to the jaw. Ezekiel then hits a spine buster and then applies a modified single leg Boston Crab, but Otis attacks him from behind for the disqualification. What do you want me to say? It's just a run-of-the-mill random ass match on Monday Night Raw, as this was Ezekiel's in-ring debut, and it just flopped, as always. We see a lengthy replay that's going on for the Usos and RK Bro. And after the break, RK Bro will take on the Street Profits. And I'm not even really going to go over what really happened in this match other than the final portion of it, because it's just your stupid rematch between two tag teams out of the 4 tag teams that are in this goddamn roster. And it does not mean shit. It does not mean absolute shit. Orton is fired up and tags in Riddle for an RKO, but the Usos music hits. Ford then dropkicks Orton off the ring apron, and no Usos appear. The Profits then hit a double team blockbuster for the win as they pin the Raw Tag Team Champions. So they're probably going to try to get the Street Profits involved in this somehow because they beat the Raw Tag Team Champions. After the match, Montez Ford gets on the microphone and says he wonders who would have the guts to hit the music of the Usos to distract RK Bro. The Usos aren't the only team that they need to be worried about because they want the smoke. It's fucking ridiculous. I hate that the Street Profits always have to be involved in shit. The Street Profits, they're a great tag team. I love those guys to death, but they do not need to be involved in every single tag team match and every single tag team storyline in the goddamn company. They don't. And I know a lot of people are probably going to be pissed off at me for that, but you know what? I don't care. The Street Profits do not need to be involved every single freaking time. And that's it. We then had an Edge segment with Damian Priest, and this was absolutely fucking fantastic. We see Edge sitting on a throne in a dark room as Damian Priest is on his side. Priest then says that some people are wondering why they did what they did to Styles, but maybe they need a reminder of who the hell they are. Edge says that mental manipulation is always a part of him. Those seeds were planted 20 years ago when he was a part of the Brood, the Ministry of Darkness, and many other staples. However, he is much more dangerous version of himself, of the man that he used to be, and those seeds are being shown by the fans' tears. Unlike you, Buffalo and Buffalo's Sabres, I win championships. Edge says that Damian Priest was at WrestleMania 2 years ago, teaming with Bad Bunny. Priest was the linchpin of that, but he didn't get any credit. And this year, he didn't even have a match at WrestleMania. And he, a first ballot Hall of Famer, had to come out and beg for an opponent. Edge says that the fans complained on Twitter and TikTok and everywhere else that he wasn't there enough, that he was a part-timer. Well, he finally decided to stop caring about what the WWE Universe thinks about him because he wants to take back his mountain of omnipotence. And AJ's Judgment Day is coming. We come back from commercial break and AJ Styles is asked for a response to Edge's challenge. AJ says that the challenge is accepted, but Edge can save his judgment for the lights start to flicker, and before they go out, Damian Priest and Edge are there to attack in purple lighting. They beat down AJ and they put his arm inside a cabinet and slam the lid on his arm over and over again. They stand over Styles and laugh. Here comes the United States Championship match, guys, and trust me when I say this was a great match between Finn Balor and Austin Theory, my bad. A great match between Theory and Finn Balor, but at the end of the day, Balor looks like a complete fucking joke. I called this last week. Theory was going to win the United States Championship, and I meant every single word of that, and look what the fuck happened. Theory is the new United States Champion. And we'll go over the match happen. We'll go over what happened in the match right now. Balor does the clothesline and hits the DDT, then kicks Theory to the apron. Balor then wants to suplex into the ring, but Theory fights off and looks for a rolling drop kick through the ropes that gets caught in a powerbomb. Theory then slams Finn into the buckles. Balor then hits a roll up into a double stomp, then kicks Theory repeatedly. Balor then hits a sling blade and goes to the top rope. Theory hits Finn Balor and connects to the springboard Spanish fly for a very close near fall. Theory then wants the ATD, but Balor counters it into a reverse DDT. Balor then knocks Theory out of the ring, and as a follow-up, he hits a tope to the floor. Balor then gets back inside the ring and looks for a coup de grace, but Theory avoids it. He then hits the ATD for the pinfall victory. And we have a new United States champion in Austin Theory. Oh, shit. Theory. My bad. I'm going to keep calling him Austin Theory. And I know it's not his name now. It's just Theory. But it's just going to continue to slip my mind. After the match, a bunch of absolute jobbers come out to the ring. So Alpha Academy, T-Bar, The Hurt Business, fucking Dabakato, but he's Commander Aziz now, Apollo, these guys are celebrating like he won, like he was the one that beat Roman Reigns. Like he fucking won both world championships, or pretty much every single world championship that is in any kind of promotion whatsoever. They celebrated him like he was fucking God. It was completely fucking ridiculous. Then Vince McMahon comes out and applauds Theory. Theory then joins McMahon on the stage to take selfies together, and they shake hands. Seth Rollins is walking backstage and with his phone, and Kevin Patrick stops him to ask who Cody Rhodes' opponent is. Rollins says that he does know who his opponent is, and Patrick asks who it would be. Rollins then asks him if he's dim and says that the whole point of this is so that Cody does not figure out who his opponent is until he walks out to the ring. You numbskull. And then he leaves as his phone rings because it's Seth Rollins' opponent. You really could have set this up as something totally unpredictable, but they made it so predictable that we just knew exactly who it was the moment that phone rang. Completely fucking ridiculous. I'm not even going to go over the 24/7 title garbage shit. It was a double wedding. R-Truth was the most entertaining out of all of this. Asked for vows, but they didn't really get through it. Then he was asking if anybody objects these two weddings. Tamina then said that she objected and she wanted to actually marry Reggie instead. Then she wanted to marry Dana Brooke. R-Truth said, I don't even know if that's PG. So then she just switches back to marrying Akira Tozawa again, and Reggie is back with Dana Brooke. This shit was fucking terrible. And then we have 4 24/7 title changes. I knew that was gonna fucking happen. Who else knew that was gonna happen? Yeah, 4 24/7 championship title changes. Reggie won the championship by pinning his wife Dana Brooke. Then Tamina beat Reggie. Then goddamn Akira Tozawa beat his wife for the championship and Tamina, and then Dana Brooke does a flying crossbody on Akira and wins her championship back, and she runs away with R-Truth to the back. Get this shit off my TV. Get this shit off my TV. I can't fucking stand this company anymore. I can't stand the absolute disrespect that I get each and every single Monday. My entire existence is to watch professional wrestling, and that is not professional wrestling. That is not entertaining. That is not anything that I want to enjoy on a professional wrestling show. This shit fucking sucked. And I'm not sugarcoating it whatsoever. This shit sucked. And it's just plain and simple. And if you guys don't like that opinion, I'm sorry. That shit sucked. Sasha Banks was a part of the segment tonight. Why? Your guess is as good as mine. The 24/7 title garbage needs to get off my TV. It needs to get off everybody's TV. Because this shit fucking blows. The 24/7 title should have never existed. The 24/7 title should have always never been a thing. Because we get shit like this. Fucking done. I'm fucking done. We then had Bobby Lashley backstage after commercial break for an interview. They show a video of MVP and Omos from earlier on today. MVP says that Lashley is about to learn how big of a mistake he made by going after Omos at WrestleMania solo. Well, he's moved on to bigger and better things, bigger and better and stronger things. He's moved on to Omos, a superior athlete in every single way, which is a complete fucking false statement. It's a complete lie. And imagine what he can do with Omos. MVP says that Omos wants to challenge Lashley to an arm wrestling contest to prove his dominance, which I don't. I understand it's a whole manly thing, an arm wrestling contest to see who's stronger, but I don't need this shit on Monday Night Raw. I don't need this shit on my TV for professional wrestling. So Omos says that the Almighty era is going to come to an end. Lashley says that he knows if he wants to get to MVP, he'll have to go through Omos. Yeah, Omos is bigger than him, but is he stronger? We'll find out next week because he accepts the challenge, and that is why they call him the Almighty. And now it's time for the main event: Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. This match was really good. I think every single match that I know that every I know that every single Cody Rhodes match that he has had here in WWE since his comeback at WrestleMania has been absolutely fantastic. But I hate the fact that they are using him. They're not using him every single week, but they have used him the majority of the weeks that he has come back. Stop that. You want this guy to be special. You want this guy to be looked at as somebody special. If you have him show up every single week, he's not going to look like that. It's Cody Rhodes, yes, and it's Cody Rhodes, and we're going to be happy that Cody Rhodes is here no matter what. But if you give him each and every single week, he's not going to look all that special anymore. Kingdom is a theme song that you can't listen to multiple times a day. Kingdom is a very, very exclusive, it's an exclusive theme that should be kept as something special. And Cody Rhodes is a special guy enough to make that happen. Cody Rhodes is that special of a talent to where you don't need to see him each and every single week. Because if you see him, it's important. Because Cody Rhodes knows storytelling, and Cody Rhodes knows who he is right now for this character of the American Nightmare. I may be the only one in this, but Cody Rhodes needs to be looked at more as a special attraction type superstar. He doesn't need to show up every single week. That's just me. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments of the video or in the live chat if you're still here. So we had the match happen. We're going to come back from the second commercial break that happened in this match. We return to find both men battling on the top rope. Owens headbutts Cody off and hits a big frog splash for a very near fall. Rhodes then with a small package for a near fall. Then Owens hits a pop-up powerbomb, but Cody counters it with a Frankensteiner. Cody then ducks a clothesline and connects with a super kick. Then Owens hits one and both men go down. Rhodes then runs and this time Owens connects to the pop-up powerbomb for a very close near fall. Owens then can't believe that Rhodes kicked out, and he looked at Rollins in a furious he had a furious look on his face as he was looking towards ringside at Seth Rollins. Owens then drags Cody to the corner and goes to the top rope. Rhodes then hits Owens and climbs up alongside him, but KO connects with the fisherman suplex and covers him and covers Cody, but Cody gets his boot on the bottom rope for a rope break, as the referee had stopped the count. Cody then rolls to the apron, and Owens goes out to grab him for a powerbomb on the ring apron, but Rhodes flips him over into a back body drop, and he lands hard on the ring apron. The referee then starts his count, and Owens screams at the referee to stop. He screams at Owens to get your fat ass back in the ring. And that is a direct quote. Owens takes umbrage with the insult and walks off. He's giving Cody the win by countout, and he leaves Seth irate at ringside. He said, "Listen, this is your fight, not mine." And he walks out. So winner by countout is Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is not happy with the result. Cody Rhodes wanted a clean victory, or just a clean winner, both sides. If he had to lose, fine, but he wants a clean victory. He is not happy with the result, but he gets on the ropes to try to pose and celebrate his countout victory. Rollins then runs back inside the ring and shoves him off the top rope, and Rhodes lands on the barricade. Rollins then taunts Rhodes as the show closes and just goes off the air. And now is it for your Monday Night Raw for tonight, April 18th, 2022. This is not a bad episode of Monday Night Raw. It's just after the first hour, the show just kind of went downhill from there. And that's kind of just what happens each and every single Monday night. Usually the first hour isn't always that this entertaining. But this first hour of Monday Night Raw was that entertaining. And they could not just keep the momentum from the first hour throughout the rest of the show. Other than Cody and the Lie Detector Test, there was not much on this show that really could get you excited or looking forward to the next thing on the show that night. And am I looking forward to Monday Night Raw next week? Other than Cody, and maybe the whole Elias and Ezekiel thing, because I love Kevin Owens, I'm not really looking forward all that much to the next episode of Monday Night Raw. I don't really look forward to WWE TV because I know I'm just going to get my entire intelligence insulted. But at the end of the day, this was your Monday Night Raw post-show review. I hope you guys enjoyed what you guys heard tonight. I know with me being here alone and not having somebody with me, it sucks. It really does. But once we get things back in order, once people get their stuff together, once people have their equipment and pretty much their technology all in order, we're going to be back. We're going to be better than ever. I'm still going to be here each and every single time. I don't care. Whether that is just me by myself for the entire time that we all just try to get our stuff together or what have you, I'm still going to be here regardless each and every single time because I just can't take a day off with this. I can't. I am too humble about this podcast. I know that it may sound like arrogance, but I cannot take a day off because I just simply don't know how. I simply don't know how when it comes to this podcast because I care about this podcast so fucking much. Not that any of the other people in this podcast don't care about this product and don't care about Outside the Brand. Everybody on Outside the Brand and everybody that is a part of this loves Outside the Brand and loves you guys. But we can't do this if we have faulty equipment. We can't do this if we have faulty equipment. So we're trying to get that all in order. And once we do, we're going to be back better than ever. And everybody that can be here is going to be here for the enjoyment of you guys. And honestly, the reviews will be a lot better for it, because I work better when somebody is talking with me and going through things with me. So once that is all in order, we'll get things going, and just have a good time. Just have a good time on Outside the Brand and have the better enjoyment for you guys. We are 30 episodes away from episode 200. I cannot wait for that. I know you guys cannot wait for that either. I don't know what episode 200 will be, whether that be a weekly show, a pay-per-view, what have you. We don't know, but we're going to make it fun regardless, because it's the 200th episode of Outside the Brand. Hopefully we'll have over 500 subscribers by episode 200. I think that would be absolutely great. But, that is going to happen when it happens. And we love each of every single one of you. And we honestly could not do this without you. So thank you so much for all the support. Thank you, Mo, for staying here the entire time. I love that you continue to be here each and every single night. I understand it's not the best when it's just me out here, but I don't know how to have a freaking day off on this podcast, so I'm going to be here regardless. We love you guys. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Follow us on TikTok. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at PhillyMatt_. Bonfire.com, your exclusive home of Outside the Brand and its merchandise. Go get your t-shirts, hoodies, and more on Bonfire.com for all the exclusive goodies on that website. And yeah, guys, we're going to be seeing you guys tomorrow for episode 171 of the podcast for Tuesday's Talk. And yeah, man, it's going to be a great time. We'll talk to you guys soon. On Wednesday, Tony Khan has a major announcement. We don't know what the hell that is about. We know that it's not a signing. We know that it is not a signing, because usually, if it is a signing for Tony Khan and AEW, he says that it's a new signing. He says that it's a major signing. This is a major announcement. And the major announcement last time was that he purchased Ring of Honor. So is it going to be something with Ring of Honor? Is it going to be something with the streaming service? We do not know. Or is it going to be something with that New Japan AEW Super Show that everybody and their mother is talking about? We do not know, but we're going to be talking about that on Wednesday night. Thursday, we don't have a show. And then Friday, we got AEW Rampage and Friday Night SmackDown. And that is your entire weekly, that's your entire week for Outside the Brand. So thank you guys so much. We'll talk to you guys very soon. Like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. Follow us on social media, bonfire.com, all good stuff over there. And we will talk to you guys very, very soon on the next episode of the podcast, episode 171 for the show, Tuesday's Talk. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night and stay safe. God bless. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace. We the ones.